All right, here we are, day number 2. This time I actually brought my 360 camera instead of just the empty housing. That was pretty cool. And I actually checked my, oh, look, the train. And I actually checked my GoPro to make sure, or not my GoPro, but my GoPro mount, and that my Nano can actually go on my mask so I don't have to just hold it like last time. So, yeah, let's get ready. All right. Alright, made a couple of changes, so hopefully my weight belt works this time. This is good. So some new updates with the weight belt. Added a couple more pounds. This cute thing. Hopefully that works better this time. Let's get ready. All right, hopping in. And one of the things I remember about this is the position of my knife was definitely too far forward. So when I was trying to put my fins on in this moment, I couldn't get my leg up. I was just getting kind of hit with the waves on this inner area of the beach. But you know, I finally get them on, and then start to paddle out. It's always pretty murky on the inside, and you got to get out about 100 feet or so for it starts to clear up. Here we are, about maybe almost 100 yards out, and it's starting to clear up. And just kind of my first shots with my Osmo 360 underwater, and you will quickly see what the actual footage looks like, which is pretty bad. It's pretty uneven on how it captures things, which is really a bummer, because it works really well, as you can see when I was walking in, and just when I'm using it for work stuff on land, it looks really good, but man, in the water it's pretty terrible. It's basically unusable. So it's a bummer too, because I really didn't realize this until I was basically done and at home looking at the footage. But today was good. I definitely got to go a little bit deeper and had some longer breath holds, and just working with the gear. It's only day 2, so just learning a lot and trying to figure things out. And I decided to try and use it without the case, because the cool thing about the Osmo 360 is that you actually don't need to use it with the case. It's waterproof. I guess actually, sorry, this part I'm still trying to use it with the case. And I'll have a couple more pieces of footage of me trying to dive with it. This is really awesome. This was probably like the first like decent size. There's a cool 360 of me wandering around. But yeah, you can see that there's a decent amount of life in here today, which is really cool to finally see some schools of fish. There's probably a couple hundred, and I'm trying to capture it with the 360, but it's just so uneven and murky, and you can see kind of the water droplets, and yeah, not too great. But overall, it was really fun to just see so much life in the water. And this was the first day that I actually made it out to the tubes that are pushing out the warm air from the electric factory, which is, you know, where this area gets its name, Electrics. You can see them kind of there in the background. And I can kind of notice that my camera's getting foggy, so I put it away and just start trying to do some dives. And I'm still trying to figure out my weights, so you can see I'm holding on so that I don't float back up. It's starting to get a little bit murky, and you know, the sand's kicking up in this area because there were some swells coming in. Alright, and here's when I kind of decided to just pull the camera out, because it's just, there's too much condensation building up. These cheap Amazon cases are pretty terrible. They don't have a full seal, and they might actually work pretty good if they did have a seal, but it's really hard to say because, you know, it just kept leaking, so I decided to pull it out and just hold it. And you can see that it's still pretty bad, and it's just because of the diffraction of light. It is really odd that it does look pretty good on the camera that is facing me, but the other lens just is, you know, pretty bad. You can see when I'm out in the water, out of the water, it looks pretty good. So I kind of go back to swimming out. Now we're about, this is probably about 20 feet. There's a hole. Yeah, I'm not sure what these striped ones are. But like I always say, I'm kind of just learning as I go. And, you know, when I start spearing, it's going to be really important to kind of know the species and, you know, what's good to eat and what's a good size. So I'm just trying to learn that kind of stuff, you know, as I go. So yeah, we're about, yeah, I'd say still around like 20 feet.
Well, finally seeing something cool. I saw a couple wrasse. I So me saw I gotta learn these fucking names. I'm trying to think of what it was called. But yeah, pretty mean.
Right here, so 24 feet. So this is probably the deepest I've been so far. And now we're kind of on the edge of where those big tubes are that push out the warm water. And this is kind of where a lot of life is because of all the warm water, and it kind of just creates like a nice environment for fish. And here I'm dropping down because I kind of saw a big school of Tape. And this is primarily what I'll be hunting for when I start spearing, just because they're invasive, and as you can see there's just so many of them compared to everything else. And here we are back at the 360 cam in all its terribleness. And here we are, going back in.
Alright, day 2, definitely a lot better. First day I didn't have any fog repellent on my goggles, so I spent, 75% of the time just trying to like see through murkiness. Today was way better, but I did realize that once you break that seal for the first time and you get water in there, it's just not as good as when you first put it on and you've applied everything. And it's kind of dumb because I just did it so that I could see if my camera was on, because I've been out there for already like 45 minutes and I was like, man, is this thing even fucking recording right now? But yeah, I went up to like a 10-pound weight belt and I still was floating a bit, and it might be something where I got a gut and maybe it's just once I lower my body fat 10 pounds will be enough. But right now it's still a bit tough to stay down there, and with my lack of experience, I don't know if that's just normal or to always kind of be somewhat buoyant. But it's a learning experience, so I'm glad that the second day was better. But yeah, I gotta jump on this work call, and yeah, but here, just kind of show my 10-pound weight belt setup real quick. Everything definitely slid around a bit more than I thought it would. But yeah, we'll see. All this gear seems to be working pretty good. We got some 360 cam footage. And yeah, maybe I'll shoot a little drone before I get on this meeting.